Hello everybody. So we have already learned about rigging. Now in today's video we will learn about inverse kinematics. Using this, it often becomes easier animating our rigs, especially when there is a chain of bones. Now we will create this weird low poly dancing character today. So make sure to give this video a like and let's get started. Again, this is me from the past and we have this low poly character with us. Now, I will link this character in the description below, or you can use any character you want. You can make your own character, or you can grab any character from the internet, or you can also use mine. It will work just fine. So, first things first, I will move my character towards the center, and let me just bring it here. If you just click Control, it will snap with these lines. And now I will start by adding an armature. So, we got a single bone. Now, let me make this bone a little bit bigger. So I will go to the edit mode, click on the top knob and GZ. So this much is fine. Now I will start by creating a hip bone. So I will duplicate the bone and GZ, and the bone is here. It is inside our body. So how can we make it visible? We have already seen in the last video. We will go to data and in viewport display in front. So this is our hip bone. This looks so bigger for hip bone, and the hip bone should ideally be rotated backwards. So RY 180, and let's grab our bone and let's keep it here. Now we will take a look from the x-axis. The bone should be a little bit tilted, so something like this. Let's also bring it a little bit in front. Yeah. Now, one thing we must remember is if I go to pose mode and if I grab this bone and move it, so only this bone is moving, and same for this one also. So the bones are totally disjoint, but that should not be the case. So this is our first bone, and the remaining bones should be somehow related to it as a hierarchy. So what I will do is I will grab this bone and then shift and grab this bone, Control P, keep offset. So what this means is right now this our parent bone. So this bone becomes a parent of this one. So now if I move this bone, both the bones will move. However, if I take this bone, only this bone is moving. So that is what we want. Now we'll come back to the edit mode once again. What I will do is I will create my legs. We also have to create our spine, chest, neck, and head, and then the hand. So I duplicated it, and let me create the upper leg. So let's place it here, grab this knob, and it will be a big bone. And let's take the look from the x-axis. I think this is fine. It can be a little bit forward like this, and maybe little bit tilted, not much. Yeah. And from the front, it looks just fine. Yeah. Maybe a little bit we can tilt like this and like this. Now let's extrude the lower feet bone, something like this. From the side view, I think this is fine. So what we will do is we will extrude the toe. So something like this. And now, once again, I will come to the pose mode. So Control Tab and shortcut for the pose mode. If I grab this bone, all the bones will move. If I grab this bone, only this one moves. And here, there is a hierarchy. So if I extrude a bone, it naturally becomes a child. So this one is the like the child. It doesn't have any further children. This one has one child, and this one has one child and one grandchild. So this is the structure. Now, since we will be using inverse kinematics, we will be creating some control bones. So I will take this knob and I will extrude something in the other direction. So this will be a control bone. And because this is a control bone, what I will do is I will disconnect the bone and I will also clear the parent. And in the bone, there is something called deform. So this bone shouldn't deform. This will be a control bone. So I will name it leg control dot L. Why dot L? Because we have to symmetrize the bones. So basically, we have to create copies in the right hand side of the character, like the right side. This is the left side. And we want to do this copy automatically. We don't want to manually create the left and the right. And that is why we have to use this dot L extension. And same for all the bones. We have to do it for all. So this is the toe dot L. And we have to use dot L. Underscore L, comma L will not do. This is lower leg dot L. And this is upper leg dot L. What happened? This is upper leg dot L. Yeah. Now, if I come to pose mode, so what we can see is these three bones will move. And since the other bone does not have any parent, we have disconnected it. So the other bone will not move. The remaining bones will work just fine. However, I want one more thing. What I want is whenever we are basically rotating this, I want the toe to be rotated along with it. I don't want these to be separate. So what I will do is I will click on the toe, then click on this one and make it the parent. So now in the pose mode, if I rotate this, you will see the toe is rotating along with it. Now the toe is not really connected to the other bones. So if I, let's say, move these bones, the toe will not move. So this is disconnected with the toe, which is fine. And when some bone is like basically deformed, what we will do is we can do Alt G, R, and S to clear the uh, G for grab, like basically the rotation, the scale, and the XYZ, the movement. Anyway, so this is how our leg is. Now let's create the middle part. So we will grab this knob. So this is our spine. Then this is our chest, somewhere here. This is our neck. And finally, this is our head. Let's rename accordingly. So this is head, neck, chest. Then this is spine. And this is hip. This is bone one whatever. This is hip. Now, apart from this bone, here I want to extrude another bone. So basically, this bone will take care of the rotation of the toe and the movement of the feet. But I also want to basically capture the swing. Uh, like there are two kinds of movements of the leg. One is the rotation of the orientation of the feet, and another one is the basically the movement of the leg. So to capture that one, I have to create another control bone here, something like this. And again, since this is a control bone, what we will do is we will do Alt P, disconnect bone, Alt P, clear parent, and we can basically move it forward um, because this bone will not be deforming or anything like that. So deform should be cancelled for this one. Same for this, and actually same for this also. Now, what should we do about these bones? So these bones can be parented to our root bone, basically whatever is the case. So we'll do a keep set, and whenever we will move this bone, every bone should be moving. Now these two bones are not moving, and that is a problem. And that is because if I take this bone and if I see if this bone has any parent or not, so relations, it has no parent, so it should be parented to this one also. So this bone should be taking care of all the bones. So now this is fine. It will move all the bones. Yeah. Let's grab everything and let's clear the rotation or anything if there is. Okay. Now, what we will do is we have to create the hand. So I will grab this one, Shift D to duplicate, and G Shift Y. I have to create the shoulder and the arms. Now, shoulder may or may not be required. Let's just create it. It may give some weird movements, and we have to take care of it. Like uh, there is some issue while we are doing rigging, so we have to take care of it. So let's keep the shoulder like this. And if I once check my rig, so it is like this. So uh, yeah, so shoulder should be coming like this, and then the hands. And before doing that, one more thing that I forgot to check is there is some orientation problems with these bones. So this is our hip. Hip is fine. Now then comes the spine. The spine should be rotated a little bit. We haven't done that. So something like this. And here, this also should be like this. It should come like this. And head, I think head is fine. Now, when it comes to shoulders, let's check from the x-axis, from the top view. This is our shoulder, right? So I think there should be little bit, only the top knob should be moved, something like this. Should be like this. Now getting the Y view once again. And this should be like this, I believe. So, and what we can do is we can we can keep the shoulder like this. So these bones are only for our animation. This is not like biological bones. In case you are wondering that we don't have shoulder bones like this. I mean, whatever works, we have to do it like that. So let's just keep it like this. From the top, I think this is fine. Now we'll grab this knob, E and G shift Y. So this is our elbow. We'll keep it here. And from the top, let's bring the elbow here. And again, extrude. Somewhere here. Let's say GY will be here. So from the front view, should be here. Somewhere here. And again, extrude. We won't be animating our thumb because it's a low poly character. And I think we can keep it like this. Yeah. So our character is more or less done. Only one thing is remaining here. There should be a hand control bone also. So E to extrude, and this will be a control bone. So we'll grab this bone in the edit mode. Alt P, disconnect bone, clear parent, and in this bone, um, instead of parenting with the root bone, I will parent it with a chest. It's fine. So keep offset. Now this bone, the deform should be unchecked. So there will be no deform for this one. And yeah, the parent is a chest. Now in the pose mode, what will happen is this bone doesn't do anything. However, the other bones are connected. If I rotate it, so it will rotate like this. This one will be like this. Yeah. Now the rotation should of this of the hand should be controlled. So what I will do is I will click on the hand and this one and keep offset. So now if I rotate this one, it is connected to this. It is no longer connected here. So now we have to rename. So this is a shoulder. So SHLD dot L. This will be the U arm dot L. This will be the L arm dot L. And this will be the control bone, right? So hand or arm control. Let me write arm control dot L. Lastly, this is the hand dot L. Let's see the other control bones are properly named or not. Leg control dot L. And let me name this leg swing dot L. So things look fine for now. Now, we haven't used inverse kinematics. Uh, Now let's see how that works. So what I will do is this. I will take this bone here and shift. I will select this bone. And then if I do Control Shift C, I will get a list of constraints that I can add. And here we have inverse kinematics. Now, before adding inverse kinematics, let's try to understand from the name itself what it could mean. So, inverse kinematics. Kinematics means you can say it's movement and it's inverse. So, generally, what happens is if I select a bone, let's say a parent bone, and if I move it, the child bone should move along with it. And so, for example, let's take this one. If I rotate it, everything should rotate along with it. Now there is a problem here because this bone is has a parent chest, and because chest has another parent spine. So when we are moving the spine, this is also moving. This should not be the case. So ideally, this should be parented to this one. So that is one issue that we found. But in our animation, we will not be moving the spine that much, so we can ignore it for now. But yeah, this is something to consider. Yeah. So let's take the chase for now. So as you can see, this will move. Anyway, whatever is the case. So if I rotate it, the parent, the child will also rotate. If I take anything, the child should rotate. But if I take the child, the parent should not rotate or move. However, when we are moving, often what we may find is that um, to create a walking animation, I have to, let's say, rotate it like this and then rotate it like this, and then if the toe is connected, I have to rotate. It may be tedious. So instead of that, if we can just grab one control bone or one child bone and move it, and the whole body will move along with it. If we can do something like that, that will be really good. And that is where this inverse kinematic comes into the picture. So now this is a very simple rig. You may wonder that what is the need of doing such complex things? We can just move the bones. But yeah, when we have more complex characters and complex rigs, then this kind of constraints will actually help. So that is why we want to do this. Yeah. So now let's add inverse kinematics and then see how it works. So Control Shift C, inverse kinematics, and this bone will become yellow. Now I will go to bone constraints, and here we have something called chain length. So chain length means if I, let's say, move the control bone, so how many bones should it affect? Now let me give 3. Well, 3 is actually not good. It should be 2 because I want to affect this bone and this bone. Now, this bone is parented to which bone? This bone has no parent. Let's assume this bone is parented to the hip bone. So, in that case, what will happen is this bone, these 3 bones will be affected. Now, if I, let's say, take this bone and if I do a G, as you can see, 2 bones are moving, right? So, 2 bones are moving. Very interesting. 2 bones are moving. Now, this one still doesn't have any effect. So what we will do is here in the constraints, there is something called a pole target. We will grab it, and the pole target is the armature, and which bone of the armature? This one. And now if I take this one, let's say I first uh, like this, and as you can see, this is basically controlling 2 kinds of movements of our leg. So we kind of have a complex joint movement, right? We're kind of getting there. So this is the benefit. Now let's do one thing. Here we have a chain of 3 bones. So I will take this one and take this and add bone constraint. It was inverse kinematic. And now I will take this one and I will do a chain length of 2 once again. Why 2? We can do 3 also. So some problem. Let we did some issue. Let me reset everything once again. Alt G, Alt R. I will take this bone. So this bone here, let's just compare the two. This bone has parent to this bone. Now this bone's parent is the chest. That is fine. I will grab this bone and then this bone, then Control Shift C. and I will do inverse kinematics. Now it is fine. Last time, who knows what kind of issue was there. So let's give the chain length of 2. So 2 means this bone and this bone should be affected. So as you can see, it is a complex kind of movement happening. So our hands don't really move like this. It may feel painful also. But yeah, you kind of get the idea. Now if I do a 3, what will happen is the shoulder will also be affected. So now as you can see, uh, I feel this movement is better or worse. We will see when we are animating our character. We are still not sure which is good and which is better. And this movement is also happening. So we kind of got there. Now let me do one thing. This bone has no parent, right? So this bone, does it have a parent? It has a parent of this to this bone. So here, if we do the chain length to be 3, bone constant chain length to be 3, there will be a weird movement because it is parented to this bone. But however, if I change the parent, then what will happen? First of all, let me make it 2 to keep things normal. Now in the edit mode, Control P, keep offset. Now if I check this bone, so who is the parent of this bone? But now the parent of the bone is the hip bone. Now if I come to this bone and make the chain length as 3, there is a small rotation or movement, but nothing as such. So I think now this is fine, but I think we should avoid it. Because moving the hip bone may not be the best idea. But yeah, we will see that once we like symmetrize it in the other direction also. And then we will see how it behaves. But I think so, moving the hip along with it is not the good idea. Also, if I do this, okay, so this bone is moving independently. That should not be the case. It should drag all the bones with it. So there should be parent-child relationship like this. So now, oh, something strange is happening. If I am moving this down, so this is moving along with it. Okay, so I think there is a huge problem. I will make the parent here. And now if I do G, okay, no, should be done in the pose mode. Because this is the parent of this one, uh, I think it should be 2. Otherwise, there is a lot of issues happening. Ah, now this is a good behavior that is happening. So what we have to do is we have to symmetrize it in the other direction also. So what I will do is I will come to the object mode. I will grab everything, not everything. I will grab the right side, like the right edge. So I have to do it in the edit mode, not in the object mode. I will grab all the bones that is present in the left side. And now I will go to armature and there is something called symmetrize. Symmetry. And now everything will be set automatically. So yeah, as you can see, the naming convention is also fine. Upper arm dot r, lower arm dot r. And that's not all. It will work even in the pose mode. So if I go to, let's say, pose mode, and now if I move it here, and if I move this one, as you can see, things are working fine. Now I understand that our legs don't really move like this, but yeah, this is the starting point. Gradually, we will add more and more constraints, and I believe we will have much better movement. So let's once again select everything, and what we can do is we can do Alt G R S, select everything. Now what we have to do is we will come to the object mode, and then we will grab our mesh, then our armature, then Control P with automatic weights. Now, what will happen is if I come to the edit mode, whenever we move our leg, our mesh will move along with it. Yeah. So our kind of work is done. So if I do simply hide, let's hide the mesh. Actually, not hide. What we want to do is we want to animate. And we also have to add the materials. I will leave it to you. Uh, Adding materials is very simple. So basically, what we have to do is Oh, I think I have done a mistake. I have done a mistake. I had to add the material first and then rig. After that, doing it is a little bit tricky. Yeah, anyway, whatever. Once we learn how to do the inverse kinematics, adding material is not a big deal. So let's create an animation quickly. So I will use 40 frames only. But yeah, you kind of get the idea that how we can animate. And similarly, we can also animate cats and dogs and many, many things. So for example, a dog is wagging its tail and we shouldn't basically move the bones individually. There could be a lot of bones there. We should be using this kind of constraints. And apart from inverse kinematics, there are a lot of things. We will gradually see that. Um, but yeah, this is a very important one. So what kind of things should we want? So let's move it forward like this. Let's grab this one, GY, GZ, something like this. Let's rotate it here. Ah, there is a twist happening in the knee. It should be painful. It looks painful. Ah, let's keep it like this. And let's the shoulder is causing some problem. I think it should be two. And here also it should be two. The shoulder movement should not be like that. So okay, okay. Again, so I think there is some extra mesh here and we shouldn't do that. And that is why this issue is coming. Apart from that, things are not half bad. So with something like this, I let's move it to 10. And here in the 0, what we will do is RGRS, select everything, I. So as you can see, hmm, something is happening. Now here, I will select everything. I will come to 20 and I will do Control Shift V. Ah, let me select everything. Control C, copy it. Will come to 20 and I will do Control Shift V. It will be the opposite. Then I will add another key here. So now our character looks something like this. It's not a half bad. What we can do is let's move to 40 and 20. It will be more gradual. Should start at 0, end at 39, and let's make it 30. Start at 0, end at 29. So this frame will be at 0. This frame will be at 10, 20, and whatever is our starting pose, I will just copy that. I will move to frame number 30 and I will just paste it and but 30 is out of our animation because we don't want a repetition. So now if I simply run, it's not half bad according to me. So this is our new dance animation for our character. Now we have to think more carefully before making our mesh because the mesh is very much dependent on what kind of animation and deform we will get. And there is also something called weight paint, like which parts of the mesh should be considered to have more weights for deformation. So right now it is automatically assigned weight. So that is why it is a default behavior. But yeah, as you can see, it's not half bad whatever we are getting. So the idea is once we have some walking animation, running animation, etc., animation, we can export this animation and we can import that in Godot and we can create our own 3D character who can run around. So yeah, that's it for this, folks. And if you have learned something new in this video, make sure to give this video a like. And I will see you soon with another very interesting video. So see ya.